Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Rule of Two. Today we're going to finish, hopefully, the Duel of the Fates script by Colin Trevorrow. This was the original Episode 9 script, and we're getting to the juicy parts. What's going on, Mark? How you doing?
I'm pretty good, man. How are you doing?
I'm good, chilling.
Cool, man. Did you check out that trailer?
I did, yeah, I reacted to it on the gaming channel.
All right, cool, cool.
Yeah.
I I saw it once. I uh I left a little bit confused about what the game actually is.
I
If
think
it's like,
I think you're just fighting. I think you're just fighting in space
but
or in the
did
sky.
they? Do you think? And the chat weigh in, please. Do you think the game is being set up as a multiplayer co-op game where you're building squadrons with your buddies to fight? I mean, hopefully that's what they're trying to do,
Probably, that's
but
probably
I
what it
can't
is.
tell.
I can't imagine it won't be multiplayer in today's day and age.
Yeah, I mean, well, look, whatever Fallen Order is not multiplayer, right?
True, but there's so many more story elements to Fallen Order, I think,
Yeah, I mean, look,
than...
I'm hoping that it is multiplayer.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be cool. Today we're going to be starting on page 80. We are going to recap where we ended off last time. External Mortis Eastern Plateau Day. Should we start?
For it, baby.
All right, buddy. Kylo's silencer lands in a clearing of dead trees, no leaves on the branches, covered in snow. He looks up at the mountain ahead. Visibility is low. A natural stone bridge over a deep precipice. Tall granite on either side, vaguely shaped into primitive faces. It feels like a gate. A whisper on the wind swirls around him, fluttering his cape in the air. The force is strong here. He journeys on. Exterior Coruscant, Imperial Boulevard, dawn. Empty, silent. R2-D2 and C-3PO emerges from an abandoned building. Two small figures swallowed by the desolate urban landscape. R2 beeps. C-3PO. I agree, Artoo. We may not survive this time. A shadow falls over them both. A battalion of First Order transports descends through the morning mist. They touch down, releasing an army of brute troopers. Thick, muscular mercenary enforcers. Chrome armor and masks. That's kind of cool. Reminiscent of Phasma. These guys make the stormtroopers look like the neighborhood watch. Internal tenement block dawn. The brute troopers bark orders, flashing lights and weapons as families are forced from their homes. A horrified, waist-high Chadra fan begs for mercy.
Beak, not.
A brute trooper shoves his rifle into the alien's stomach, doubling him over. A trio of infants wail for their perch on the ceiling, from their perch on the ceiling. A few nearby stormtroopers look at one another, disturbed by the violence. Next level vicious. The brute troopers push frightened citizens into prison crafts. Children are separated from their parents, herded into transports en route to the conditioning camps. They scream, reaching through steel bars as the crafts rise. R2-D2 and C-3PO watch in horror as it plays out around them. I can't watch. How horrible.
Beep, doop, boop, doop, beep.
We'll never find Master Finn now. Wait, Master Finn? Finn's a master now? Did you
Well,
just call
Master.
Master everybody?
Yeah, yeah. C-3PO is always Master Luke, Master everybody.
Sewer underground day, internal. Sludge water spurts out of multiple chutes into a gelatinous sewer cake of repulsive, mysterious contents. Finn jets out of a chute and splashes down, sputtering.
Ugh.
A pack of sewer womp rats feed on the refuse encased in the gelatinous mass. One approaches and sniffs, hideous whiskers brushing his face. Finn tries to dislodge his arms from the gel.
Hey, get away! Yeah.
It takes a lick of his face before he can pull an arm out and swat it away. The womp rats scatter. Then he sees why the rats scatter. The colossal Gryok, a white eyeless larva the width of the tunnel it's emerging from. It feeds on the sewage, gaping mouth slowly sucking the gelatinous mass into its body. It's disgusting.
So, dude, first of all, quick shout out to Womp Rats. If anybody who's ever played SWG, you know that like when you're low level, that's all you get to kill are Womp Rats. So, shout out Womp Rats. But here we go. Oh no, 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 no!
Finn dislodges himself enough to get stuck again. The Gryok closes in, slow as the sludge he's sucking in. He's stuck in. This is the worst of bad nightmares. The Gryok's jaws open, dripping saliva, teeth like knives. Just as Finn is about to get eaten by this thing, a hatch above him opens, pouring light. It's Dade.
You're definitely dead.
Give me your hand. Finn grabs the kid's hand. Oh, give me your hand! Finn grabs the kid's hand and pulls himself up into the hatch just as the Gryok chomps down. Finn collapses, shaking, traumatized for life.
That was so many disgusting things all at once.
I've seen worse. Dade.
Just one name?
What's wrong with that, Finn?
You know me?
We've been tracking you since you landed.
We?
A distant screeching sound.
What was that?
You don't want to find out. Come on. Dade shows Finn his resistance ring. Trust me.
that sounded evil.
That sounds so bad. I know. Finn follows Dade down a tight tunnel, boots splashing in the shallow water, light up ahead. First Order purged a 10-mile. Why do I sound like the gingerbread man from? I sound like the. I sound like the gingerbread man from freaking.
Yeah, you sound like you sound
from
like
Shrek.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Oh no! First Order purged a 10-mile radius around the capital after the galaxy went dark. Took most able bodies to the conditioning camps.
Hold on, what? Your voice just went from Mickey Mouse to
Yeah, he's an alien. He goes through puberty like really quickly and fluctuates.
All right, cool. Did anyone escape?
Just us. Dade opens a rusty door to reveal abandoned underground prison. Hundreds of compartment-like dwelling units connected by catwalks to a central control tower. Living here, 1,000 escaped citizens aged 12 to 60. Finn is stunned. How many people are down here?
Well,
No,
you
sorry.
stepped on my... It's
Yeah,
all good.
sorry, bro.
Well,
10,000, maybe more.
You have weapons?
Whole city's got weapons. That's what they're afraid of. A million of us rise up. The First Order's finished. Finn lets the idea burrow deep.
You're right.
He's caught up, fervent, brave.
This revolution starts here, right now.
Sure. All we need is ships, weapons, an army. Finn looks out at the massive underground cavern of humanity, 1,000 faces waiting for a leader.
We have one.
Finn eyes the old prison command tower in the center. Finn kicks open the door and fires up the comm system. He looks out at the downtrodden faces.
My name is Finn. I bring a message from the Resistance.
An older woman exits her cell, tired and worn, kept down by the war since the Rebel Alliance days.
The First Order rules by fear. They build ships to intimidate us, wear masks to frighten us, but they're the ones who are scared.
The older woman takes her wooden spoon and raps it rhythmically against the bars of the old prison.
This is not the time to hide underground. If we take the capital, the galaxy will join us.
An alien joins, then another.
Together we strike back. Together we can resist.
Hundreds.
You can tell,
What?
that's probably like the line from the trailer right there.
Yeah, probably. You light the fire that will spark the first. Hundreds, then thousands of people clanking their possessions together in unison. Finn stands tall. From traitor to deserter to revolutionary leader, his journey has led to this. That's cool. He's kind of like living that in real life right now.
Which is actually pretty very. First of all, there's two things that really hit me here.
Yeah.
One is that look at the difference of who Finn is in this script versus who Finn became in The Rise of Skywalker. In this script, you don't get a lot of that Force-sensitive stuff that you get teased in The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
But you actually get a character arc that does two things that are consistent with 7 and 8. Number one, his relationship with Rose goes deeper, because in Episode 9 they just pretended that never happened, right?
Yeah.
And number two, he's fulfilling his own role inside the Resistance. He really has no role in
Right.
Rise of Skywalker. You
Right.
know, he's just kind of at one point here, then he's with the horse, then he's with
Yeah.
then he's like screaming for Rey. Anyway, I do like that they actually tried to give Finn an arc that resolves itself to some degree in this version. But anyway,
Yo, Parth, Charlie, Airbranch, Asher, thanks, guys. Have you ever thought about doing a Rule of Two episode in which you guys pitch your own sequel trilogy? What you want the sequels to be? That'd be interesting. Maybe
yeah, it's
next
a
week.
cool idea. It's a
Yeah, it's a
cool
cool
idea. I
idea.
like that.
Where are we at? Finn
Um,
stands. Okay, so external Mortis, Western Cliffs, day. Rey scales the icy peak, blasted by wind and sleet. She reaches a plateau, finds her footing. There are statues of robed ancients here, not Jedi. A storm of snow dust obscures her vision. Voices echo. Suddenly, she's back in the bright, warm sands of the Jakku Desert. Wind sweeps over the dunes. A child's voice screams out. Through the storm of sand, a little girl is dragged away from her mother and father. It's young Rey. At the moment her parents abandoned her. The little girl screams, reaching out her hand. Young Rey. Come back! Wait! Rey steps towards them, feet digging in the sand. Wait! The mother breaks from the father's grasp and runs towards young Rey, but the father holds her back.
no, we can't. It's too dangerous.
The mother relents, calls to her daughter, heartbroken. Stay here. Wait for us. We'll come back. Understand? I promise we'll come back. Young Rey screams. Rey's watery eyes match her younger self as the ship rises, casting a shadow over them both. The sandstorm kicks up, obscuring them. It turns from yellow sand to snow. Rey catches her breath, devastated. They were afraid. Why were they afraid? No response, only wind. Luke, tell me, why were they afraid? He doesn't answer. She grows furious, screams. Her lightsaber flashes, and she cuts an ancient statue in half. Jeez. It falls, cracks in half. She looks up at the temple above, anger burning in her eyes. Mortis, Eastern Forest, day, exterior. Kylo hikes through winter. Glimpses of the temple break through the canopy above. Suddenly, the wind dies. There's something ahead. A house in the woods, smoke from the chimney. His younger self, Ben Solo, approaches the house. He wears all black robes, a hood. This is clearly some kind of force-induced vision, a sign of this planet's strength. Kylo watches from the shadows as Ben nears the house. When he puts his hand on the iron door handle, it opens. Han Solo stands in the doorway. He looks at his son with sadness and fear. What are you doing here, Ben?
That's not my name anymore.
Your mother can't see you here. Not like that.
I'm not coming back. There's a greater destiny for me.
Ben pulls his hood down. He's maybe 17. There lies, son. Man, we need Jamie Costa for Harrison right now.
Right.
Should call him, get him on here. Empty promises. You have everything you need right here.
What? You? Her? My master says I have unequaled power. Neither of you understand.
Your mother underestimates more than anyone.
Your mother understands.
Understands more than anyone.
She sent me away.
To learn. To grow.
I have grown.
Kylo watches Han approach his son, strikingly similar to their confrontation on the catwalk on Starkiller Base. Your mother loves you.
My mother's afraid of me.
Han eyes the lightsaber in Kylo's hand. Give me the lightsaber, son.
You know I can't.
On the Starkiller Base catwalk, Kylo is back in the moments just before he killed his father. He watches as he plunges the blade through Han Solo, his father's eyes full of love even as the life drains from him. In the Mortis Eastern Forest, Kylo, disturbed and shaken, alone again in the snow, determined, he takes his first steps up the mountain.
So it's a very similar scene to the Kylo Han Solo scene in Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Cut to external Coruscant streets, dawn. Empty, silent. R2-D2 and C-3PO emerge from a side street, two small figures swallowed by the desolate urban landscape. R2 beeps. C-3PO says, I agree. This isn't the Coruscant I remember. A shadow falls over them both. A towering AT-MT walker rounds onto the boulevard. They watch it pass, dwarfed by it. It stops, a smoking, charred First Order tank in its path. C-3PO and R2-D2 look on, curious. Internal AT-MT walker cockpit day. The AT-MT pilots look down at the burning tank.
Any life forms?
Nope.
That's probably our best performance right there.
Probably.
Hold on, dude.
Yeah.
Let's do an encore of that. Ready? Any life forms?
Nope. Finn and 100 People's Resistance fighters hunker down inside this empty building. The AT-MT's head is positioned just below them outside.
Now,
says Finn. Floor-mounted grappling guns fire hooks that stick into the opposite building, creating several zip lines over the AT-MT. Finn clips on a carabiner. Coruscant streets day.
I think they meant to say a carbineer. What the hell's a carabiner?
I have no idea.
A carbineer is
carabiner?
Carabiner? I don't know. Chat, what the hell is a carabiner? All right, keep going.
20 Resistance fighters swing onto the AT-MT like pirates boarding a ship. Finn drops onto the top of the AT-MT's body. Dozens more land beside him. They run along its back to the head. A Resistance fighter cuts through the hatch with a vibrasaw. Finn tosses a shock detonator inside.
Clear!
An electric flash within. The pilots slump over the controls. Finn drops in, pushes the pilots aside, takes the helm. A familiar alien, 6 eyes, takes the co-pilot seat.
Load up.
The side panels of the walker slide open, allowing the Resistance fighters to rappel into the cavity. More armed citizens pour out of the alleys to escort the steel beast as it walks down the boulevard, knocking aside the flipped tank as it passes. A pair of TIE choppers zip around the corner and square off against the AT-MT. The walker blasts them out of the sky. Hux paces. In the next room, Rose screams in pain between electric jabs and shocks. Am I Selleck?
Yeah.
Chancellor, there has been an insurrection. Word has spread to the other districts.
Decimate them.
Sir, the leader is a Form FN unit. He was aided by a regiment of our own.
Impossible.
Hey, your Hux is dope. We're dispatching additional units to address the revolt.
No, recall the FN units from active duty.
Sir?
If there is a flaw in their programming, we must correct it. Deploy more brute troopers.
Those mercenaries are undisciplined and expensive.
Perhaps money is all that inspires loyalty anymore. Do it.
Rose's eyes are sunken, clothes ripped, blood peeking through the torn fabric. She hears commotion, the barking of orders. 2 officers enter in a hurry. Transfer to cell block 6. They want her in maximum security. 1 officer releases her from the rack. She slumps forward, dead weight. They drag her toward the door. As they move, Rose opens her eyes, eyeing the electric taser of the officer's hilt. When they reach the door, she hits the lights. She grabs the taser, shocks them both, clamps both her wrists into the iron shackles.
So long, boys.
Rose shuts the door behind her, leaving the 2 unconscious officers in there alone. Imperial Boulevard Day. Huh?
If Rose and Finn have a scene together, though, you're Rose. Remember that. Or I could be Rose, you could be Finn. I'm cool with that switch.
I'll be Rose. The AT-MT turns the corner onto Imperial Boulevard. Inside, Finn stokes revolt via loudspeaker.
We will no longer live in silence. Gather your weapons, rise up, strike back.
Finn squints out the window at a gold droid wandering among the cheering revolutionaries, unsure how he got there.
3PO?
Finn climbs out of the AT-MT hatch for a better look. Suddenly, he's yanked upwards. A brute trooper lifts him out of the hatch and throws him onto the back of the walker. Finn is locked in a fist fight of the back of a moving walker, 50 feet off the ground. Finn takes brutal hits from the brute trooper's steel gloves. It's like fighting a medieval knight with his bare hands. A powerful tackle, and they both roll off the edge of the moving walker. Slam! They land on the brute trooper's back. He keeps fighting, unharmed. Finn spots the walker's foot coming down on them. They roll away just as it lands. The brute trooper grabs a fallen blaster, puts a heavy foot on his chest, aims for Finn's heart. Oh, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Brute. Last words, FN 2187. Suddenly, laser fire takes him out. Finn looks up at a unit of stormtroopers. The leader takes off his helmet, extends his hands. It's RK-514. He lifts Finn to his feet, hands him a blaster. Rafe.
I like it.
The other stormtroopers take off their helmets and throw them aside, diverse faces with a new purpose.
So here, look, here, this is another thing that at least it makes sense, right?
Right.
He was a stormtrooper, and now at the end, does he finally liberate other stormtroopers? So it gives his character purpose. Whether you like the arc or not is irrelevant. The fact that is relevant is that he has an evolution to his character from the last film, where they completely robbed him of with Rise of Skywalker. But anyway.
Right, okay. Internal Eclipse Destroyer Bridge space. Connix X escorts Leia to a terminal.
Remind me who Connix is again?
Your guess is as good as mine, my man.
Connix. I think Connix is one of her people. Anyway. The message is from the First Order transmitter. Finn is alive. He has an army ready to storm the capital. They need reinforcements.
All is well. All we have is what's on this ship. You can't win a war with 100 pilots. Oh, and Poe.
Yeah.
+1. Chewbacca growls. Sorry, +2. BB-8 beeps. Okay, I get it. Leia's face falls from relief to dread. Where's Rey? She went on alone. Her choice, not mine. What about the others? We lost contact with Rose. BB-8 beeps sadly. Finn is alive. He says he has an army on the ground. All right, you wanna take Leia or Poe for this interaction?
Which one do you want? I'll take either one. Which one do you want? All right, fine. I'll do Poe.
Okay, sure.
Then we put our pilots in the sky and back him up. What? This is what we've been waiting for. If we take the capital, we can destroy that jammer, and we can call the galaxy to war and light the spark that fires the candle.
Fires the candle. little extra in there. They'll kill millions. I've seen it. It's too reckless.
Resistance is reckless. Passion, the greatest weapon. I'm sorry. Resistance is reckless. Passion is the greatest weapon we have.
Poe appeals to Leia, their history together laid bare.
The rebels fought the Empire and won. You showed us that it could be done. But that was your war. This one's ours. Let us fight it.
Leia looks out at the Resistance fleet, young, ready. Set a course for Coruscant, ready all weapons and attack ships. This is a full assault.
That would have been a cool moment.
Yeah, it would.
Seeing Leia say that, you know?
There are a lot of cool moments here. That I think this movie is cooler than Episode 9.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. Resistance soldiers load into transports. Pilots lower their droids into place. Urban assault vehicles roll into the open cargo holds of massive heavy transports. The Eclipse tracks toward a distant point. The hyperdrive fires, rocketing the massive craft deep into space. Kylo Ren ascends. Temple of Mortis, day. Kylo Ren ascends to the steps to a sealed stone door. The temple is cut into the mountaintop. Uninterpretable carvings, runes and statues allude to civilization and knowledge long lost. He reaches out, the door bends to his will and opens. A millennium of dust spills from its cracks. Oh, that's beautiful. A millennium of dust.
Yeah.
But he does not enter. He knows he's not alone.
I knew you'd come.
Kylo turns to face Rey. His mask surprises her. She's only seen the projection of his ideal self in their connections, not this.
The force is strong in this place. Can you feel it?
A low rumble. She's digging into his mind. You're in pain beneath that mask.
Get out of my head. You won't like what you find.
He force pushes her back. Her feet slide back a few inches, but she withstands it, steadfast.
I'm stronger than Anakin Skywalker. Stronger than his son.
Get the F out of here. But you're still afraid.
Of what? You?
Of what you've become. The dark side has left you empty, alone.
I don't have to be alone. With the power of this place, we could rule the galaxy, as the ancients did. The dark side and the light.
You still think I'd join you, after what you did to my family? Kylo falters a bit.
Were you going to tell me here?
Were you going to tell me here?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's you. That's you. Sorry.
You want to switch?
No. Your Rey is much better than my Kylo.
I think they typoed. I think that's the only typo I've ever seen in this. Weird. It's... Were you going to tell me here? Weaken me with the truth. I know what you did. Deep down, I've always known. She circles him like a lion. My parents didn't sell me for drinking money. They were hiding me from you.
So you remember.
Flash to the Knights of Ren in the Rain, the image from Rey's Force vision when she first touched the lightsaber. Oh, nice. They actually talk about it. A distant child screams. Snoke made his orders clear. Oh, sorry.
Snoke made his orders clear. Find anyone who could destroy him. It didn't take us long to find you.
You killed my parents.
You blame me for your life on Jakku. You should thank me for it. You were safe.
Say it. Did you kill them?
I did.
A blast of powerful energy explodes around her, clearing the temple mount of loose rocks. She's like a Super Saiyan. You murdered Han Solo.
I'm not here for you, Rey.
Millions of people.
All I want is behind that door.
Rey ignites her dual lightsaber. Then you'll have to kill me.
I know. That's actually a great scene, dude.
That's dope.
That's actually a great scene.
I like how they call back to the Empire Strikes Back. I love you, I know.
Yeah, then you'll have to kill me. I know. See, that's good, man.
Yeah.
That was good.
Kylo attacks. They clash on the steps of the temple, both far more powerful than the last time they met. One of these two will not survive. External Coruscant space. The eclipse appears from lightspeed. The city glows beneath. First Order Sentinel ships protect the capital from space. Eclipse Destroyer Bridge, space, internal. Leia spins around in the chair once occupied by Akbar. She's like spinning up. Whee! Whee! Send the fleet to planetfall. Surprise is the only advantage we have.
That was a good Leia.
Internal Eclipse Destroyer docking bay, space. X-Wings and Razorcraft fighters speed out of the bay, followed by troop transports and cargo dropships. Poe races toward the Falcon. Chewie and BB-8 follow.
No, we don't have enough pilots. Get out there and do some damage. I don't know. Pick one.
Chewie looks around, spots an orange X-Wing, cocks his head. First Order Capital Command Deck, internal. Hux enters the command deck overlooking the boulevard. Smoke rises between the buildings. Commander Selleck says, Chancellor, we've detected a ship in orbit. One of ours, but with unrecognized signature codes.
It's the stolen eclipse. Summon all destroyers to the capital. We can end this uprising and eliminate the resistance in one triumphant day.
That was the best, dude. That little...
That's him. That's what he...
He's a whiny little baby, I know. It's the stolen eclipse. The Millennium Falcon rockets out of the sky and joins the Resistance attack fleet. The Sentinels unleash hell, assisted by a squadron of TIE hunters launching from within. Poe is inundated with blasts from the larger ships. A trio of hunters bears down on the Falcon, then explodes in succession. Chewbacca's X-Wing zips overhead, eliminating the enemy ships with precise, focused shots. Internal Chewbacca's X-Wing. Chewie wears no helmet. BB-8 chirps from the droid socket. Internal Falcon cockpit. Pro raises his eyebrows, impressed.
That's one hell of a pilot.
Above Coruscant space.
I actually love the image of Chewie inside an X-wing. I think that would have been an awesome Chewie moment.
Yeah.
You know, not Chewie dying and then coming back to life and then you know, like, anyway.
Yeah. The Eclipse unloads a super laser on the Sentinels. They explode as our attack fighters and transports descend through the billowing fire to planetfall. External Coruscant, Imperial Boulevard. Womp! The AT-MT Walker's foot stomps down the boulevard toward the First Order capital. The new Resistance army moves with it. Thousands now. Some with blasters, other with nothing but clubs and passion. Finn marches out with Rafe and his rebel troopers. Dade rides out of the top hatch of the head of the AT-MT, speaking through the booming broadcast speaker. Rise up! Join the fight! Small bands of revolutionaries appear from side alleys, a trickle building to a stream, building to a river. That'd be cool if we could just post the concept art right now, because I know which scene they're talking about. That's probably where they like colored all the ATSTs.
Yeah. It's actually it's the scene that's in our thumbnail from last week, I believe.
Oh, okay, cool. Small bands of 1,000 riot-suppressing Mandalorian brute troopers. What? Bulky armored mercenaries with heavy shields and arm cannons. That's cool. Sun cuts through the fog, revealing the extent of the capital's defenses. Advanced tanks and walkers. New designs we've never seen. Finn holds the line. Thank God. Yeah, things we haven't seen before. That'd be nice. Finn holds the line at the sight of the oncoming forces.
Stand your ground.
Finn and the stormtroopers are hit with the fire from all sides. R2 and 3PO walking through lasers. A First Order astromech droid R808 rolls to a scomp terminal on the side of a flipped tank and plugs in. R2 beeps urgently. He's sending a distress signal. Stop him. Nobody's listening to 3PO. R2 beeps furiously. Me? I'm not programmed for violence, R2. Beep. C-3PO steels himself, hustles through laser fire, and rips open the back panel of R808. I do apologize for this. He reaches into the droid's innards and pulls circuits out. R808 beeps in distress, adding to C-3PO's horror. Please, go quietly. One last yank and R808 sparks out. Tips, hits the ground. R2 quickly plugs into the vacated scomp link, sends his own command. The belly railgun stops, spins, resets, fires on the brute troopers. Finn climbs up into the flipped tank past 3PO, who frets over the inanimate shell of R808. I've done horrible things. I may never be the same. Shadows glide over the long boulevard. A squadron of TIE bombers crater the boulevard ahead of them. Geysers of concrete spew upward. They're about to be decimated. When a fleet of X-Wings and B-Wings dive from the sky. The Resistance ships fly through the trench of buildings and hammer the bombers, spinning them into explosive collisions. Resistance transport land on the boulevard behind them.
Well, Finn and Rafe, the stormtroopers, cheer for the skies.
Yeah.
Hey! It's kind of like in that scene. What's that scene in Empire? Is it Empire? Hey! Like when the ships leave. Oh God! Sometimes Empire. I don't want to say anything not worshiping Empire, but like. You know what scene I'm talking about? Like when the ships are leaving the Hoth station.
Yeah.
Hey!
Like, hey! Resistance troops pour out of landing transports, Finn says.
You feel that?
Finn swells with hope.
We are the Resistance. All of us.
Cut to Temple of Mortis, night, external. Rey pounds the gray stone, lit by flashes of blue and red. Lightsabers clash and Rey and Kylo fight mercilessly on the steps of the temple. Ancient statues crumble. Rey stops them in midair, pushing them back.
I could have been your teacher.
Rey loses ground, doubts herself, stumbles.
I could have ended your pain.
Rey slices Kylo's mask, shearing the bottom half clean off. Shearing the bottom right half clean off, revealing the flesh beneath. He removes it, eye to eye now. She parries and attacks.
You're weakening.
Kylo allows Rey's barrage to hammer him, taking careful, controlled counter-strikes through her wild assaults.
The last glimmer of a dying light.
Kylo's really going in. Kylo strikes a wicked blow across her face that instantly cauterizes a scar from the left of her cheek to her forehead. Oh, returning the favor. Rey's lightsaber drops to the stone. She falls to her knees and screams, clutching her eyes. When she opens them, the world is an abstract blur of light. She's blinded. Kylo stands over her, lightsaber pointed to her heart. Rey looks up, crying blood. Jesus!
At least she got damage, right?
Rey,
The only damage that ever happens to Rey in the sequels is in that scene on the fucked up Death Star. She like twists her fingers and goes, ah, oh, ooh. That's it. That's the only time she takes damage.
she almost died in Episode 9 because of Kylo, but then she cheap-shotted him when Leia died.
Right, but she didn't actually take damage.
No, it's true. She never took damage, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess at the end of Episode 9, she took damage.
She didn't have to plate up. You know what I mean? She never needed plates.
Yeah.
She had full plates the whole game.
Yeah, infinite plates.
Yeah, she had infinite plates.
Jeez, Rey looks up crying blood. That's... No wonder this didn't get approved. Rey falls backwards down the stone steps, motionless.
Goodbye, scavenger.
Kylo enters the Temple of Mortis, leaving Rey blind and bleeding on the steps. Jesus, dude. The Falcon buzzes the surface of the eclipse. Picking off attackers, Chewbacca's X-Wing flies right with it. Vroom! A finalizer Star Destroyer arrives from hyperspace. It fires on the eclipse, hitting the deflector shields. Eclipse Destroyer, bridge. Leia swivels in her chair, conducting the revolution. Engage starboard cannons. External above Coruscant space. Gun ports on the side of the eclipse open. Hey chat, I still can't get over that crying blood thing. That's messed up, dude. That's crazy. And she's like blind. This is like some Matrix 3.
Yeah, it's also similar to
Kanan?
the Jedi. Yeah, to Kanan.
Yeah.
You know, it's also got a little bit of that Kanan vibe
Dude,
to it.
this gives me this when Neo got blinded by Agent Smith.
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
And then he like,
Absolutely.
oh jeez. Can't wait for Matrix 4. Gun ports on the side of the eclipse open, pushing out 20 massive ion cannons like a pirate ship. They fire in unison. The finalizer stutters from the barrage and explodes. Leia clenches her fist amidst cheers of victory. Vroom, vroom, vroom. 10 more destroyers arrive at once, an armada of sizes and classes. Her confidence drains. Come about. The eclipse turns on its axis and unleashes hell. The lasers light up the dark like Christmas. The First Order destroyers fire back, faster and more propulsive than we're used to. Their relative scale to the eclipse lets us feel their speed for the first time. External Coruscant air battle day. The resistance ships weave and glide between buildings, firing on TIE hunters at window level of the profiteers who finance this conflict. A tight squadron reaches the capital itself. Their leader, Elo Asti, sends a pair of homing missiles into the structure. They hit big. Ion cannons on motorized swivels rise up from the structure's roof, blasting ships out of the sky with deadly precision. Internal First Order capital. War room. Night. Chancellor Hux watches a holographic representation of the air battle.
How is this not over?
It's the stolen dreadnought, sir. Our fleet isn't equipped to engage a ship of that magnitude.
I mean all of it.
Boom! An explosion rocks the capital, flickering the lights. First Order capital, corridor, day, internal. Rose sneaks through the crisp white hallway. She ducks into a recess. A procession approaching. Commander Selleck in the center of it. Ready the hyperdrive. Rey holds a gasp. The capital is a ship.
He turned into a clone.
Ready the hyperdrive, yeah. Commander Selleck. In the unlikely event our defenses are breached, we'll make the jump to lightspeed, brothers. She watches the First Order techs break away. They scan the ID bars on their uniforms and disappear through a door. Rose sneaks to a window overlooking a vast architectonic abyss encircling the spine of the Capitol. Attached to the spine like a vertebra, the cube transmission jammer, completely encased in armor with no bridges or access points. She can't reach it. Removes those confiscated First Order ID bars from a hidden pocket, scans the door, it opens. Rose creeps into a control room stacked with nav consoles.
Prepare for surface disengagement. Ready engines for hyperspace. Purely precautionary.
She slips behind consoles and opens a panel in the floor. Rose crawls down into the subspace beneath the control room, surrounded by wired computer towers that power the hyperdrive. The texts are still audible above.
Ready to set coordinates, sir.
Plot a course for the 4V system.
Rose opens a panel to hyperdrive computer's motherboard and goes to work. Poe zips between a pair of burning destroyers as they collide behind him, swarming ties and chaos outside his cockpit.
Chewie, get down here. They need you. I've got this under control.
He doesn't. BB-8 beeps frenetically. Chewbacca spins and dives, breaking into the atmosphere. Chewbacca's X-Wing descends to the Capitol, weaving through the grid of lasers fired upwards by the ion cannons. He makes an attack run over the cannon arrays, taking out several turrets with one continuous, dizzying display of aeronautical badassery. That's cool. Chewie's X-Wing. Alarm warnings. Multiple lock-ons, TIE fighters swarm around Chewie, ganging up. BB-8 chirps, concerned. Chewie roars, also concerned. Blam! They're hit. Chewie maneuvers over Monument Square, spinning into a dive. The orange X-Wing makes a distressed landing, knocking over brute troopers in its path as it comes to a screeching stop.
Save that pilot.
Finn and his squad blast their way toward the crashed ship. He climbs onto the X-Wing. BB-8 beeps frantically.
BB-8? BB-8. BB-8.
The cockpit pops open. Chewbacca roars.
Chewie, where'd you learn to fly like that?
Incoming! The fresh batch of heavy ATMTs emerge. Cannon fire rains down from the Capitol above. This revolution may not last long. Leia is weary, but steadfast. Change our plan. Change our plane of attack. Don't let them line up on us. Connix interrupts urgently.
General, our agent on the inside is contacting you.
We have an agent from the inside? Connix activates her comm speaker.
The Capitol is a ship.
Rose, slow down. Rose is patched into a comm terminal, sparks falling around her. Hot-wired cables string between CPU towers.
They're going to leave the planet. I can disable the hyperdrive, but I need the key codes in R2's memory drive.
R2's with Finn. Patch her through.
Finn's alive?
Finn takes cover behind a fallen ATST, yells into his comm.
All right, you do Finn, I'll keep doing Rose.
Rose, you're alive? Stay where you are. We're coming with you. Rose rolls her eyes, about to save everyone's ass.
Great. Listen carefully. I need R2 to transfer me the hyperdrive keys before this thing takes off.
Hyperdrive? Where are you?
There's a scomp link at the base of the Capitol. I'll have a direct communication from him to there. Got it? Rose really thinks Finn's an idiot.
You want to redo that?
There's a scomp link terminal at the base of the Capitol. I'll have a direct connection from him there. Whatever. Got it. Anyway.
Monument Square Day. Finn looks around frantically. R2! Where are you? He spots C-3PO and R2-D2 behind a flipped tank, races to them, grabs R2. You want to go back to being Finn?
Sure.
Yeah.
We need to get... hold on. I've lost the momentum with all this back and forth. All right, so Rose has discovered that the Capitol is actually a spaceship, right?
Yeah.
And these guys are trying to take off with it, and now she's trying to get Finn to help her disable the hyperdrive, right? So R2, where are you?
He spots C-3PO and R2 behind a flipped tank, races to grab them. We need to get you... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you're Finn.
We need to get you to the capital.
Master Finn, we're more suited for rear unit duty. Finn looks out of the battlefield, eyeing the path to the base terminal. First Order transports touch down ahead. Even more brute troopers spill out into the square.
None of this matters if we don't reach that terminal.
Artoo beeps, determined. For glory? What are you saying, Artoo? There is no glory for droids. Blam! Artoo takes a direct hit from a cannon blast. He hits the side of the tank and falls hard. No comical squeal. He's silent and scorched black, unmoving. Artoo! Artoo!
Chewie, cover us.
Finn hunkers over Artoo. Chewbacca stands tall, firing away. Artoo! Artoo, say something! Finn waves smoke away from Artoo's burnt body. The droid circuits are dead. No power. Wow.
Those codes are in here somewhere.
Finn opens a panel and removes Artoo's memory drive.
I'm sorry, buddy. BB-8!
BB-8 rolls up, ready for duty. Finn opens a compartment in the droid's round body and inserts Artoo's memory drive.
It's all up to you now, okay? Rose, send BB-8 the terminal coordinates. He's got this. You got this, right?
BB-8 nods, silent, focused. His moment. His moment.
Covering fire!
Finn, Chewbacca, and the stormtroopers cover as best as they can.
Go, go!
BB-8 dashes into the battle. We stay right with him, tracking past a barrage of explosions and lights and laser blasts. Through moving AT-MT legs, narrowly missing craters and fallen brute troopers, Finn watches the little guy from afar, inspired. He looks around at the wounded resistance, cut off and surrounded, fighting for survival. Boom! An explosion knocks Finn off his feet, ears ringing. Fall back! Finn yells to 3PO, still kneeling over R2-D2's fallen body.
3PO, we have to move.
3PO looks up, hand on R2's scorched head, emotion like we've never seen from him. I can't leave him. Finn is speechless, crushed by it all. Chewbacca reaches down and heaves R2-D2's scorched shell up onto his back. With one arm blasting and the other securing R2, he and Finn race toward cover. Damn, it's making me emotional. This is like... Chewbacca gets hit, stumbles, keeps going. Chewbacca is hit again. Falls to one knee, almost drops R2, stands up. Dude, this is some emotional shit. Finn's eyes tear up as they fire back at impossible odds. This is how it ends. Millennium Falcon space, internal. Poe watches enemy ships slip through their strafing attack formation and descend towards Coruscant.
We'll have no chance down there if those reinforcements make it through. We need more ships.
Another Star Destroyer appears from hyperspace, and another. Leia watches the numbers shift even more out of favor. Luke, I'm sorry. Internal Temple of Mortis, night. Kylo Ren's long... freaked me out. Obi-Wan stand up in the corner there. I was like, what the hell is standing in the corner? Kylo Ren's long shadow precedes him into the cavern of stone. Statues of the ancients look down into a deep void in the center, sealed with a slab of unpolished marble. Kylo reaches out, the stone slab slides off and falls to the ground with a thud. He looks down into the well beneath the temple, deep into the heart of Mortis, eager for his reward. It's empty, nothing, a hole in the ground.
No.
Kylo searches the rune-covered walls for answers. He finds only arcane sculpted faces looking down at him. He fires his saber and slashes at the statues, scarring the ancients with his rage. You've lost, Ben. Luke Skywalker steps into the light. A thin blue glow traces his form.
You're dead. The Jedi are ghosts.
The dark side has failed you, like it failed my father.
Your father was weak.
His love for his family saved him. I wish it could save you. Luke looks deep into his former student's pained eyes.
I did what I had to do.
You chose hate.
I chose power.
Kylo fires his saber and attacks, but Luke catches the blade with his gloved hand, stopping it in midair, stronger than Kylo could possibly imagine.
So, in today's thumbnail for the video, that thumbnail is an actual scene, a concept art from the movie for this particular moment.
That's cool. Rey lies motionless on the stone steps, blind and bleeding in the rain.
Hold on. Oh, shit.
Oh.
I didn't do the slide. Yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
I'll be stronger than any Skywalker has ever been.
Their faces are inches away, separated by the red blade. You are no Skywalker. Oh, shit. Wow. Okay, cool.
Trying
He
him.
dusted him, dude. The one thing he wants, yeah. Rey lies motionless.
Trash talk.
Rey lies motionless on the stone steps, blind and bleeding in the rain. Then her hand moves. Her eyes flutter open. Oh, right. Luke. Internal Temple of Mortis night. Luke's expression changes, sensing her. Let go, Kylo. You can't defeat us.
Us?
I am not alone. Obi-Wan was right. External Temple Mount. Rey drags her shattered body up the temple steps. Her arm gives out. She collapses. The pain is too much. We're connected. All living things. Leia looks beyond the battle, feeling Rey's pain. Rey. The Force surrounds us. Rose winces from the spark as she from the spark that lights the First Order as she rewires the hyperdrive on the Capitol, fingertips bleeding. She looks up, a feeling. It penetrates us. Poe flies through a barrage of blaster fire. It binds the galaxy together. He feels the connection from across the galaxy.
Rey,
says Poe. External Temple Mount night. Rey into the rain. Poe gathers her strength. Finn. Coruscant Imperial Boulevard sunset. Finn is crouched low behind cover, lasers flying overhead. We are one, bound by the Force. Finn feels the connection, a surge of hope.
fight. Rey, fight.
Rey hears him. He's there with her. They all are. Fight.
Fight.
Luke gives his former student a faint smile. And we will not be broken. With all her strength, the last Jedi rises. She unwraps a strip of cloth from the bandage on her hand, uses it to blindfold her eyes. Internal Temple of Mortis. Luke vanishes. Beyond him, Rey stands tall in the arched doorway, blind, bruised, determined. Our masters were wrong. I will not deny my anger, and I will not reject my love. Her fallen lightsabers fly into her hands. I am the darkness, and I am the light. Oh, shit.
You are nothing. You are no one.
She ignites the blades. They crackle. Oh, what? No one is no one. What? Okay. Kylo charges, their blades meet and sizzle. Rey fights him blindfolded, guided by the Force. Burning Resistance cruisers plummet to landfall. Leia watches the fiery carnage out of her observation window. It's over.
More ships arriving from the Outer Rim, General.
Prepare to retreat.
These aren't First Order ships. These aren't First Order ships.
Leia looks out at the starfield ahead, off her surprise. 1,000 ships appear from hyperspace, a massive fleet of smugglers and thieves flying tricked out, junkyard-bound personal cruisers, the pirates Han Solo spent half his life running from. In the lead is Lando's personal starship, the Lady Duck. The Lady Luck. The Lady Luck. Lady Luck space. Lando Calrissian. Lando Calrissian helms the controls. Thought you could use a few scoundrels. Nylan, an aging alien in a vintage bomber jacket, shakes his head, the co-pilot's chair. Lando's ragtag fleet attacks, covering for the larger battleships as they lay waste to the enemy. A burning TIE Hunter crashes into the army of brute troopers and tanks in the square. Finn looks up. A battalion of ships he's never seen before join the firefight in the sky.
What? Yeah!
He raises his rifle in the air, yelling to all who can hear.
Chewie, we got company!
BB-8 reaches the Capitol base and plugs into the terminal. The Lady Duck is that ship the Martez sisters had. That's my new ship name, Lady Duck.
The
Oh,
Lady
man.
Duck.
If you're the massive, if you're the massive duck coming out of hyperspace. Oh God. That's epic. That's good. Good mistake. Rose receives the feed on her hacked CPU tower. The panel lights up with a flood of key codes.
Go ahead.
I'm not Rose.
Attaboy.
The First Order fleet takes a beating.
First Order forces are in retreat. Send more ships to the capital.
Leia smiles as relief washes over her. Poe, get down here. Get down there. Poe steers the Falcon into a steep descent straight down. Copy that. The Falcon starts one... Poe has an echo. The Falcon starts one long descent from space into the city. Poe takes out TIE hunters as he goes, firing the Falcon's forward cannons until they jam dry. The ship drives into the canyon of buildings, leveling out a trajectory toward the legion of AT-MTs on the boulevard. The Falcon buzzes over the heads of Poe and Chewbacca and crashes through the legs of the walkers, cutting the mechanical blasts off at the knees, toppling them all as it sparks out into Monument Square. The ship grinds to a stop at the base of the Capitol. The accumulated pile of fallen walkers and crashed ships creates a barricade on the front steps. Alarms blare. Commanding officers frantically prepare for departure. Hux eyes the crashed Falcon in the square below.
Bomb the city! Decimate every last being!
Our forces are outnumbered, sir. Hux realizes the tragic truth. He lost the Star Wars. Cool. Hux storms into his lush chamber, goes to the collector's case, removes one of his prized vintage lightsabers. He activates it and impales himself with the purple blade. Hux kneels, the glowing saber protruding the purple blade. So he's got Mace Windu's blade. Hux kneels, the glowing saber protruding from his chest as First Order ships descend in smoke and fire out the window. Kylo counters Rey's every move. They are evenly matched, two sides of a coin, flame and shadow, fighting to the death. A vicious swing of Kylo's lightsaber shatters at the hilt, destroyed, along with several fingers on his left hand cut across the palm. He looks at it with disbelief, stumbles back towards the empty well of Mortis, falls to one knee. Rey stands over him, anger flowing. She separates her dual lightsaber, holds one blade pointed to Kylo's chest. Kylo is stunned by powerful being before him. She's almost glowing. So she's definitely a Super Saiyan now. Unfathomable living force within. Kylo clenches his teeth, eyes furious, a rage like we haven't seen since Anakin. He reaches out the open palm of his good hand and extracts the living force from Rey as Tor Valum taught him. She rises, energy flowing from her body into Kylo's hand as the life drains from her. She pulls her blindfold off and screams to the sky. Kylo stands tall, energized. His face has returned to normal, healed. He pulls the iron plates off his skin. They fall away, healthy flesh behind. Underneath. He looks beyond Rey to the empty well of Mortis.
They were wrong. All of them. The power of this place can't be taken.
Ben!
But it's nothing compared to you.
Kylo takes more from her. Rey is almost gone, drained of life. She summons all her strength, reaches out. With the last of herself, she offers him her hand. Ben, please. Dude, Kylo is badass in this. Like, this is some next level. This is... Leia feels the disturbance. It pains her. Into the vastness of space, she says her son's name. Ben. Then Kylo hears his mother's voice, carried by the Force. Ben. He stops, hearing her, feeling her close. Come back. Come home. Something happens to Kylo when he hears his mother's voice. Leia speaks to her son through the Force. Help us. Kylo feels the very thing that destroyed Anakin, but doesn't make him feel weak. He looks at Rey's outstretched hand and takes it. The living Force flows back into her. Both light and dark swirl within Rey, and Kylo is reduced to an empty shell, a man without power, a frightened boy. Kylo and Rey collapse into one another, each propping the other lightsaber up on their knees. Rey is close to him now, their foreheads touching. He is weakened, spent, in the last moments of his life. So he dies in this one too?
Solana.
Rey is stunned to hear her name, distant like a memory. Oh, that's her name? That's a beautiful
Your
name.
name.
That's a beautiful name.
Rey. Solana.
Those words are Ben Solo's last. Rey watches the light dim in his eyes, but it is the light. Goodbye, Ben. With a look that could be perceived as love, Ben Solo dies. Rey releases her hold, collapses, barely alive herself. They fought to the death. Finn appears through smoke, Damn, dude, what the hell? I want to know what does he mean when he says Kylo feels the very thing that destroyed Anakin, but doesn't make him feel weak.
He feels the call to the light. He feels that the family obligation. The only thing that can destroy
But
Kylo
Anakin
was
have
Leia.
Anakin didn't have a call to the light. He had a call to the dark.
No, but he had a call to the light from his son. That's what That's what
Yeah,
they're referring to.
But then they should have said that's Kylo feels the very thing that destroyed Vader.
Yeah, but I think they're. I mean, they're referencing Vader as Anakin. At least that's what I think. I could be reading it wrong. It could be something else.
Yeah,
but
kind of confused.
I think they're referring to Vader as Anakin.
Kylo feels the very thing that destroyed Anakin. Anyways, I can read that later. Finn appears through smoke, blood-stained, dirty, a hero. Rafe and the other renegade stormtroopers behind him. Poe climbs out of the Falcon cockpit. Chewbacca helps him. Finn regards his old friend, amazed at his transformation. He spots a fallen Resistance flag on the ground, picks it up, hands it to Finn. Finn takes the flag, climbs up the angled bow of the crashed Midnight Oiler to the top of the barricade of ships. Poe and Chewbacca scale it with him. Finn waves the flag for all to see. The ground shakes. They all look up as the First Order capital leaves its moorings.
Everybody get back!
A thunderous boom as the capital rises into the sky.
Rose is still in there.
Finn spots BB-8 rolling toward them from the quaking base.
BB-8, where is she?
Rose races through the quaking capital, checks a hand-drawn map on her hand, rounds a corner toward a bay of escape pods, climbs inside one, shuts the door. It launches as the capital rises, a short trip before it crash lands onto the battlefield. Commander Selleck looks down at the shrinking metropolis below. The massive structure casts a shadow over the city. Ready for lightspeed.
Rose, are you okay?
Touches his hand affectionately. I'm fine. She looks up at the rising capital, backlit against the setting sun. Poe, Chewie, BB-8, and C-3PO follow her eyes. They're getting away!
Did you disable the hyperdrive?
I couldn't figure it out. Hope falls away. The war is lost. So I made some adjustments to their navicomputer. Without precise calculations, that thing could... The capital jumps to lightspeed the moment it vanishes. Boom! It collides with a distant planet. The impact is so massive, so galaxy-shaking, it's visible for light years. Fly right into a star. Leia shields her eyes as the enormous explosion in deep space, pulsating in the starry twilight, a beacon of hope. Radio communications instantly crackle to life. A cacophony of voices fill the frequency waves, calling on their brethren to fight. Finn, Poe, Rose, Chewie, and the droids all look up. There was like that time I made that video and I called I called Finn Pin and Poe.
Poe-fo?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Pin and Foe. Finn, Poe, Rose, Chewie, and the droids all look up, awed, inspired, but they can't celebrate. Not yet. He looks at Finn, speaking volumes.
You feel it too.
Poe nods, affirming their connection. Rey is gone. Rey lies flat on the stone. Silence. Light fills the space around her, particles of energy floating up. She rises with them. The light engulfs the frame until we reach a place beyond what we know, the astral plane. Glimmers of energy flicker like fireflies in darkness. Rey opens her eyes, clear again, unburdened. 3 of the distant glimmers grow larger than the others. She moves towards them. Yoda, Luke Skywalker, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Is this death?
In this place, there is no such thing as death.
Says Obi-Wan. I can see.
Your true self is free of suffering, free of pain.
Taught us much, you have.
I've taught you.
Succeeded where we have failed. Narrow was our point of view.
You chose to embrace the dark side and the light, to find balance within.
Coexist they must, as such feelings do in all of us.
But if I'm here with you...
A choice you must make, to return or to remain.
Here there is serenity, knowledge, peace, those lost but not forgotten. She looks beyond them at the shimmering flecks of energy. And there...
There you will face a galaxy in turmoil, pain, suffering, the loss of all those that you love.
But living you will be. Love you shall.
We hold on Rey's face as she considers the life she's yet to live and makes her decision. Thank you. The spirits fade into the cosmic force as the light overwhelms us. Obi-Wan Kenobi's voice echoes.
You are a Jedi, Rey Solana, but you will not be the last.
Tight. A resistance flag rises from the rubble at the site of the old capital. Thousands of citizens fill the square, free. Heroes at attention, Leia Skywalker Organa in elegant white, Lando Calrissian and her top generals around her. Finn, Rose, Poe, and Chewie stand before Leia. She places medals of honor around each of their necks. BB-8 beeps excitedly at their feet. After 40 years of service, Chewie gets a medal. Right. Leia looks down at the blue beacon bracelet once used to guide Rey back to safety, clenched tight in her hand. Finn and Rose stand by her side. I can't feel her presence. Finn bows his head. Neither can he. But there's a calm I've never felt. Balance.
That's her.
Leia smiles. BB-8 rolls up, beeps to Rose and Finn. Come on, we have work to do. Leia approaches Poe and Chewbacca, also on their way. She places the beacon bracelet in Poe's hand.
I'll never stop looking.
Chewbacca gives her a giant Wookiee hug. Okay, easy. Finn approaches Poe, holding something under his arm.
Let me know what you find.
I will. Finn hands Poe his old leather jacket.
For good luck.
Poe smiles, takes it, hugs him. Chewbacca growls. We follow Poe and Chewie in the Millennium Falcon. To the Millennium Falcon, rebuilt to look better than it has in decades. Poe flips switches in the cockpit inside. Ready, Chewie?
Red.
He takes Rey's beacon and hangs it, replacing Han's dice. Wah! I don't know about that. Leia watches. Why can't you hang both? Leia watches from her window as Millennium Falcon jets off into the starfield. The Phantom Hawk rockets the other way into empty space. Leia checks on R2-D2 still under construction. A repair droid works on rebuilding his destroyed frame. How's he coming along? A quick cycle through his memory banks, and he'll be his old self again, I hope. He'll be fine, 3PO. I can't imagine what I'd do without him. I know he's stubborn, but I know. Leia picks up R2-D2's intact memory drive, rescued by BB-8. She inserts it into R2-D2, reminiscent of the first time we saw the princess with a droid. R2 beeps to life. As his files catalog into chronological order, he projects the contents of his memory banks, and we witness their adventure over 60 years, all from the droid's perspective. Luke buying 3PO from Jawas, Obi-Wan giving Luke his father's lightsaber, R2 flying through the Death Star trench, Han getting his medal on Yavin, Yoda lifting the X-Wing from the swamp, Luke saluting from the plank on Jabba's barge, Leia and Han outside the bunker on Endor. Jesus Christ! Leia is taken aback by the flood of memories. It is a catharsis for her and for us. She takes a big, deep breath. Thank you, R2. Leia leaves them alone together. R2 beeps affectionately. Leia steps outside, looks up at the field of stars. He looks up at the vastness of space. He? What? Why does it say he? A star falls. It gives her peace.
I think R2, because R2's with her. Maybe. Maybe R2's male,
Yeah,
or maybe it's a typo.
yeah, of course it is. A serene, sun-dappled ranch surrounded by rolling green fields of tall grass. Smoke curls from the chimney. Finn stands with a circle of young kids, 6 to 11, in a sun-drenched cabin. A fire crackles, and he finishes his story.
And the light could be seen all over the galaxy in every system. Rey gave us all hope.
A little girl, 7, she looks confused. But how do you know she's really gone?
I don't think she's gone. I believe.
Finn eyes Rose, seated at a wood table, parts of a droid's motivator spread out in front of her. She smiles.
I believe someday she'll come back. Are you an angel? I believe someday she'll come back. And when she does, we'll be here waiting. All of
I
us.
think she's on the moons of Iago. I think. The kids smile, relieved. They like that ending. Go on. Oh,
Go
sorry.
on. Go on. Get outside.
The kids leap up and run out into daylight. Finn rises with them and follows the last one out. The children race about the pasture. Dade is among them. So is the broom boy from Canto Bight. Huh. They race around a Nerf foal, trying to hook a ring around its tiny horns. BB-8 races with them, beeping excitedly. The little girl hooks it. The ring flies back through the air into her hand. These children are force sensitive. It's like Xavier's school. Finn and
Which is cool.
Yeah, Finn and Rose have built a refuge of force-sensitive youth to live the life they never had. Finn steps onto the front porch, leans against a post. The twin sunset washes his face. Something in that sunset changes his wistful expression. Unclear at first, but it soon becomes a realization, a tremor in the force. Poe and Chewie and the Falcon at light speed. The beacon hanging from the dash suddenly begins to glow. Chewie roars. Poe sees it, eyes wide.
Chewie, turn the ship around. I know. Just turn it around.
Finn notices a glimmer of light in the distance. He steps forward to get a closer look. Rose joins him, shielding her eyes from the sun. A figure blurs on the horizon, a familiar silhouette, dirty, ragged, walking for a long time. BB-8 rolls forward, beeps excitedly. The kids hear the droid stop their game. Look to the fields beyond. On the horizon, Rey Solana. Her eyes are restored. Only a faint scar runs across her forehead. The kids run toward her, joined by BB-8, who is faster. Rey walks on toward the homestead. Here she will train a new generation of Jedi and pass down what she has learned, that only an understanding of the balance within can lead to peace and justice in the galaxy. The end.
Written and directed by Colin Trevorrow.
Yeah.
Much better than what we got.
That was beautiful, man. That was great. I just don't like Kylo as being my gripe
The
is
simp?
yeah, my gripe is Tor Valum dying just so easily, and then Kylo all of a sudden like changing his thought, like oh, I'm super evil, I'm gonna kill all of you, and then oh, I hear my mom's voice. Oh well.
The thing with the mom is very powerful. That's his
It is very
kryptonite,
powerful.
you
It is
know?
kryptonite, but it's like, has he not heard that before? Has she never reached out to him? Like,
Yeah, look, it's a question that's a fair question.
Like,
we did see in
do we
Last
ever
Jedi.
get a Star Wars where Kylo doesn't die?
I think Kylo is dying no matter what.
Mm.
This Kylo doesn't quite get redeemed as heavily
No,
as he does in Rise of
no, not
Skywalker.
at
In
all.
Rise of Skywalker, you full on see him redeemed.
He's a good guy, which I kind of like more. I think was cool.
This one, he does the right thing and gives up his life for Rey.
Yeah,
He sacrifices himself for Rey.
yeah, yeah. I think it was cool.
So look, we've been going 73 minutes, but do you want to take the super chat, see if there's any
sure,
left?
we can take
Or
some super. Yeah. What'd you guys think of it? Did you guys like it? We got 800 people in the chat still, after almost an hour and a half. Do you think it was better than Rise of Skywalker? I think so.
I th- I think it's much better, much better.
100%.
Rise of Skywalker, I think, is the worst of the 9 movies.
No, dude. Last Jedi was
I
the
mean, it's
worst.
my opinion. Rise of Skywalker is unwatchable.
Do you think Last Jedi is
Last
better?
Jedi is unwatchable too. The Last Jedi is the Last Jedi is not really Star Wars, you
Right.
know. But either is Rise of Skywalker. Look, I personally think that the Rise of Skywalker is the worst one by far. Um, the Last Jedi has better scenes, in my opinion, than the Rise of Skywalker does. A few of them, a few of them. The Rise of Skywalker destroys Luke, so it's unforgivable because Luke Skywalker would have never acted that way, and it doesn't make any sense.
What do you mean Rise of
So
Skywalker destroys Luke? Last Jedi destroyed
no,
Luke.
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Last Jedi destroys Luke. Yeah, Luke would have never acted that
No.
way. So to me,
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why Mark Hamill called it Jake Skywalker. I mean,
yeah. And look, and then the Rise of Skywalker does spend so much time trying to fix Last Jedi that it has no idea what it wants to be,
Yeah.
and it just becomes this really bad movie.
Yeah. They're just trying to fix it the whole time, which was sad,
Yeah.
you know?
The Force Awakens is the only one that I think is a decent standalone movie.
Yeah, I liked Force Awakens.
And look, and I still have problems with that. But what I like about this one is that it doesn't really try to fix the Last Jedi too much. It almost tries to make the Last Jedi make sense.
It enhances it. Yeah.
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 So this one, look, maybe that's it. Maybe this movie has put the Last Jedi in a slightly different light for me because I know where it was supposed to go.
Yeah.
Because like Luke made a horrible Luke trying to kill his nephew after a few moments where he thinks he's a bad kid is not Luke.
It never happened.
So for the entire premise of Kylo Ren to be based on that is ridiculous.
Yeah, that never happened. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams' Force Awakens was fine, and I think anything after that was just
the Duel of the Ducks.
Duel of the Ducks. Yeah, it's terrible. We got a couple super chats. Night Runner, thank you for the emoji, man. Imagine Battle of Coruscant from Revenge of the Sith playing as Leia comes out of hyperspace. That'd be pretty cool. David Kersey is a new member. Thank you, man. I hope you enjoyed the finale for Once Upon a Theory. Master Yoda, thanks for the 99 cents. Angelica, what's going on? This is for Master Lily for her hard work. Yeah, Angelica, let's make you a mod too. Might as well, right? There we go. And then lastly, we have Shatterpoint. Theory, you and Mark are awesome. I have a small Batman channel, but your videos inspire me every day. Love what you do. Oh, that's cool, man. I love Batman. Enjoy your channel, dude. Have fun with it. I think this script is better, but Kylo turning good felt rushed, and some of the lines in the script are terrible. No one is no one. Like, come on, that's worse than I don't like sand. Yeah, I totally agree, David. Felt rushed, and then no one is no one. Like, what is that?
That's Poe's line. Yeah, that's the line that Poe tells her. I'm no one is no one is no one.
Yeah. Whatever.
Which I understand the sentiment behind it. That even if you feel small and worthless, that everybody can find their own identity.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. I will say this though, that the hype for The Last Jedi was by far the biggest of any of the sequels, for sure.
It was awesome.
The trailers were amazing. Hype. Yeah, it was so cool.
And the music in The Last Jedi is my favorite music out of the sequels.
Yep.
I love the music in The Last Jedi. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
The best. I love that song.
The best.
Yeah, it's awesome.
If Rey learns how to balance the light and dark as a Jedi in the script, what would happen with balancing the Force in general? Well, that's what she did. She balanced everything. It's kind of like what Mace Windu did. That's why he was so powerful, because he balanced the dark side within himself. Right, and no one else really did that, because he had a lot of dark side within him, and that's why he created that lightsaber form of a pod. What did you expect Luke to do with his lightsaber in The Last Jedi? He exiled himself for a reason. If he wanted the lightsaber, he wouldn't have left guys shake my head. Right, but I don't agree with the whole story of Luke going into exile for that, right? Like Mark Hamill said, because he understands, obviously because he is the character, that Luke wouldn't just pack up and leave for decades, man. He would go for maybe like 6 months, and that would be it. So, also for him to, if you look at Luke's reaction in The Force Awakens when he gets the lightsaber to The Last Jedi, they're two completely different reactions. In the first one, he looks emotional at it, but then looks kind of scorn. But then in The Last Jedi, he's directed to just look disinterested and emotionless and numb. So you can tell it's just two different writers, which shouldn't have happened. It should have just been one writer. Or Colin Trevorrow the whole way through.
Colin seemed like he really cared about what was going on.
Yeah, and he seems like he knows exactly what's going on. So,
my boy.
anyways, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah. I mean, is there any other super chats? You got it?
No.
You got to everybody?
Yeah, I got to everybody. Yeah.
All right, cool, man. So look, keep an eye out. I'm gonna be probably trying to stream a little Star Wars this week. There's a game called Sword and Sorcery for the virtual reality for the Vive and the Oculus that has some really cool Star Wars mods. I've been feeling that the Star Wars community has been making such awesome Star Wars games that I want to keep supporting that. So look out for my channel this week, Collider Games. I'm going to be streaming some more Star Wars fan-made video game content.
Cool. All right, guys. Oh, we got a couple more here. Guides Bloke, thanks for the $1, man. Hey, man, love your work. Glad to see you're streaming. Right on, Superior Seth. Thank you for the $5. I'll see you guys on the gaming channel tonight. And, of course, the watch party will probably be 6 o'clock again on Thursday. We'll do Revenge of the Sith, so I hope you're all going to be there.
And one thing I have to say, last week I got a lot of tweets. It's at Mark Fernandez saying that they felt that you cut me off last week when I tried to say my boy, that they could only hear my, and then it cut off. So, let's play it out so we don't cut off the my boy again, because I had to hear it all week long.
Theory, go back to being positive about Star Wars. Hernandez's salty ass is rubbing off on you so much. Dude, I got my own opinions, man. They're not affected by Mark, and I kind of feel like I'm more pessimistic than Mark is.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think So that's not true. Mad respect for Louis. Let's see another one here. Bryson, thank you, buddy. Appreciate that the kind words. Would Anakin Force Ghost scene have saved The Last Jedi? No, I don't think anything would have saved The Last Jedi because they ruined Luke for me, So it's done.
It just wasn't Luke. It
Yeah.
just wasn't Luke. Once you, all a character is a string of actions that evolve from the last one and that have antecedents, that have logical outcomes.
Yeah.
And that's not Luke Skywalker. It's just nothing about that character reminds me of Luke Skywalker.
No.
It reminds me of Yoda a little bit. Maybe there's a little Yoda in him, but Yoda and Luke are two different characters.
No. Yeah. Hate this script, but execution could have made it good, I guess. Love the Rise of Skywalker story, but execution wasn't very good. Yeah, I could agree with that. For sure. Okay. Thanks, guys, for chilling. See you in the next video. Love you all. And, rise, my friends.
My boy.
All right, so I'm going to wait for 20 seconds here until I can shut off the
No,
stream. Are you good?
I think we're good now.